5:18 p.m. May we have, let's see, invocation first. I'll offer the invocation this evening. Let us pray for his guidance as we gather today. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve our community with respect for all. May our personal faiths give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us. We also pray this evening for comfort for our colleague, Commissioner Cook, and her family grieving the loss of her son, Chad Cook. May he rest in peace with the Lord. And we pray, Amen.
Amen.
May I have the roll call, please?
Chairman Bowes,
Here.
Vice Chair Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Cook, absent. Commissioner Harvey,
Present.
Commissioner Moore,
Present.
Commissioner Paris, absent. Commissioner Tufts.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Oh, let me get this. Okay. So we come to public business from the floor. I won't read the whole section, but in accordance with the governor's order N29-20, the public may observe this telephonic meeting by listening to the live broadcast on local cable, channel 28, not sure if that's correct, but may live stream it on the city website. The public may electronically participate in the meeting by previously sending a email to the recording secretary 2 hours prior to the meeting. And they also may participate telephonically when an item is called and we solicit the public's input via telephone. Let's see. So, Ms. Winter, do we have any email comments for the public business from the floor section?
We do not have any emailed comments.
All right. Anything telephonically?
At this time, the public phone lines are now open for those wishing to speak on public business from the floor, agendized items. Any callers wishing to comment, please press *6 now, state your name, and then wait until you are called upon. And it does not appear that we have any callers.
All right, thank you. So the first action item is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 19th, 2020. May I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the minutes from October 19, 2020.
Thank you. Have a second, please?
Commissioner Moore, you're on mute.
Say again.
Second that.
Ah, there it is. Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Ms. Winter, please call the roll.
Commissioner Tufts,
I will abstain.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvey,
Yes.
Vice Chair Smith,
I was not at the meeting, so I will abstain as well.
and Chairman Bowes.
Yes.
So we have 2 absent, 2 abstain, and 3 yes.
So I think it's appropriate then, even though you weren't at the meeting, all you, the folks that abstained, even though you weren't at the meeting, approving the minutes is function, administrative function, frankly, and you don't have to attend to vote yes or no for that matter. So I'll ask Ms. Winder to ask the two abstentions if they'd like to change their vote to a yes.
Commissioner Tufts
Yes.
and Vice Chair Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, 2 absent.
Thank you. All right, then, the next item is, or only act, well, the next item is a tentative track map number 61921. This is an item that we heard in October. If you recall, at our staff meeting with, we reviewed this item and also during the regular meeting. So we've received a number of modifications to the previous staff report. Ms. Swain will review where we are on this matter, as well as what modifications have been made to this recommendations by staff, as well as the supporting documentation. So, Ms. Swain?
Good evening, Chairman Vos and members of the Commission. Before you tonight is the continued public hearing for tentative track map 61921, a proposed subdivision of 72 single-family residential lots in the R7000 zone. The project site is located at the northeast corner of Avenue J and 40th Street West. This map was heard at the October 19th Planning Commission meeting. However, due to issues raised in a comment letter from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, staff requested that the hearing be continued in order to recirculate the initial study to provide additional information on Joshua trees, crotch bumblebee, and other biological resources. Additional information was requested from the applicant's biologist and incorporated into the revised initial study. Based on the information provided by the biologist, it was determined that there wasn't likely to be an impact to the bee. Additionally, revised and new mitigation measures were added to address impacts to Joshua trees, alkali Mariposa lilies, and silvery legless lizards. The revised initial study was circulated for public review from November 4th to December 4th. In response to the recirculation, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife submitted a second comment letter in which they continued to express their concern regarding the bee. As such, staff has incorporated a condition of approval requiring a survey for the species during the bee's flying season. With incorporation of this condition, staff believes that all concerns are adequately addressed. The condition of approval that was added for the bee is condition number 76, which requires a survey conducted at least a year before construction on the project site during the bee's flying season of March 1st to September 1st. Additionally, the mitigation measures for Joshua trees were revised to add specific details that Fish and Wildlife had been requesting as part of their mitigation measures that were not known at the time the original initial study was circulated. We also added a condition of approval for pre-construction surveys for silvery legless lizards and provided some additional clarification on the alkali Mariposa lily. All other mitigation measures remain the same. Staff is recommending approval of resolution number 20-23, approving the proposed subdivision. And I am more than happy to answer any specific questions pertaining to biological resources.
Thank you, Ms. Swain. There may be some. Just for the record, the revision list that we received via email today, as was pointed out in part by Ms. Swain, we did get a memorandum added to the staff report. There was a date change on proposed resolution 20-23, the condition list that she just pointed out with a number of added items, and the mitigation monitoring report program had some changes to it as well, as she pointed out. So just want to make sure that it's clear in the record. Does anyone have any questions regarding the staff report or any other matter related to this project? Just to be clear, Ms. Swain, the B survey 1 year prior to the ground disturbance?
Yeah, so the B survey needs to be conducted in the year leading up to the start of ground disturbing activities. So if you wanted to just start ground disturbing activities, say October of 2021, sometime between October of 2020 and October of 2021, you need to do that B survey. And it has to be during their flying season.
So in reality, then, this being December of 2020, the earliest that a survey could be conducted
is March 1st.
So in effect, the ability to develop this property at the earliest, assuming the analyses of the biological reports and all the various other requirements that the city and the state are imposing on the project, would be 2022 at the earliest.
No, they could do it in 2021. They just, the B survey can be no more than a year old at the time ground construction activities start. So if they went and did a survey in March of 2021, they could start construction anytime after that, but no later than March 2022.
That's assuming that you get past the Joshua Tree mitigation measures that the state would buy off on, as well as nesting bird surveys where you're not disturbing any nesting birds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That is correct.
So the reality of fast tracking projects in our city relative to this particular site, the fast track is likely no sooner than the end of next year. And I don't know what the circumstance of the property owner or developer may be. But that's the reality we're in today.
Yes, and I think that's the reality we're headed to on a lot of different projects that have Joshua trees and some of these other resources. This particular bee, the last record that the biologist could find in the vicinity of the site was from 1971.
Right.
And which is why we didn't think there was any likelihood, because 1971, that area looked very different.
Yeah, it did.
Than it does now. And so staff didn't feel, and the biologist didn't feel, that it was likely that the bee would be present. However, Fish and Wildlife feels very differently about that, and I didn't have anything in which I could say, here's my evidence that you're wrong. And which is why we included the measure.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what sort of an analysis may be appropriate on existing previously approved tracks that are coming up for renewal or extension or new tracks.
I'm more concerned about the new tracks. There are specific plant species that apparently this bee prefers. And that could be quite a bit of our currently undeveloped property. If the property does not contain native plant species, I don't think it's as much of a concern. But a site that contains a lot of Joshua trees or a lot of native habitat, native plant species up here, it's much more likely that this is going to be an issue that gets raised.
So how do we prevent the disturbance of a few Joshua trees on a potential development site? How do we prevent that from happening? Because historically, there have been issues in the past where potential endangered species, whether it be flora, fauna, or whatever, have been damaged in advance of potential development.
That is an issue that has come up. And in conversations that Larissa and I had with Fish and Wildlife, basically what we need to do is document it in the environmental document that this was there. We have proof it was there. Now it's gone. Tell the story and add the appropriate mitigation measures, and the applicant would then simply deal with Fish and Wildlife.
All right. All right, thank you. Any further anyone wants to add? No? All right then. This was a continued public hearing. So is there anything, we didn't receive anything in writing, an email on this?
No, we did not. The only correspondence we received was the second letter from Fish and Wildlife.
All right. So if there's any public comments, Ms. Winter?
At this time, the public phone lines are now open for those wishing to speak on the public hearing for tentative track map 61921. Any callers wishing to comment, please press *6 now, state your name, and then wait until you are called upon. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. It does not appear that we have any callers.
All right, thank you. So without objection, we'll close the public hearing and consider a motion on this matter.
I move that we adopt resolution number 20-23.
Well, I didn't hear that clearly. I'm sorry.
Auto tunes.
I think Vice Chair Smith made a motion.
You did.
If somebody can second that.
I
will
second.
motion.
Oh, go ahead.
All right,
You're tough. You got it.
I will second the motion.
Yes, and my internet is really shaky right now.
It sounds like she's trying to sing auto tunes or something. I'm not sure. You need a microphone.
All right, so we have a motion and second. Anything further? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Tufts,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvey,
Yes.
Vice Chair Smith,
Yes,
Chairman Bose.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, 2 absent.
Thank you. All right. Ms. De La Cruz, do you have any announcements for us?
Yes, we do. First and foremost, I wanted to wish all of you a very happy holiday, a very nice Christmas. This is our last meeting, obviously. We do have an item for January, so it's just a couple of weeks out that we won't see one another. But that's my first spiel. The next few things, we do have a couple of updates that both Ms. Campagna and Ms. Swain will fill you in on. This is specifically related to the status of our housing element as well as our Medical Main Street project. So I will turn it to Ms. Campagna for her update on the housing element.
Good evening, Chairman Vose and members of the Planning Commission. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay, are you guys able to see this?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. As you may be aware, the city is currently in the process of updating its housing element. Along with the housing element, the city is updating the safety element and implementing an environmental justice element. The reason why the city is updating the housing element is because it's valid for 8 years and it's set to expire in October of next year. We're in the first stages of these efforts, and a digital community workshop was conducted last week via Zoom. The meeting was facilitated by the consultant and staff was available for support. The committee discussed different topics such as major housing issues and challenges to overcome. For those who missed the meeting, a survey is available online. Up on the screen is the process overview and community engagement timeline. Public engagement has started and will continue until May 2021, and that will include another housing element workshop, an environmental justice workshop, and community surveys. From March to June, the elements will be drafted, would be available for public review, and then go before Planning Commission. Environmental review and adoption of the elements would occur from June to October 2021. And that concludes staff's update. I'm available for any questions.
And just to add a couple of things, we're at the very, very beginning stages of our housing element update. As Ms. Campagna mentioned, this is, can you take down the screen, Cynthia?
Yes.
There we go. Thank you. We held the very first community outreach workshop this last week. We had some participation from the public, and we will continue to extend our efforts and invite the public. We have a variety of surveys. We will have a planning, actually we already have a planning page dedicated to the information. We will also be providing an overview to the Planning Commission before it comes to you for adoption, and we will be keeping you in the loop. So this is the first that you hear of it, but rest assured, this is not the last you'll hear of it. We still have about a year, a little less than a year, to keep talking about it and walking you through the efforts. So we just wanted to take a moment now to tell you where we are and where we're headed.
Wasn't the first hearing last week? Public input?
It was.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we did not have as much participation as we would have wanted. We did reach out to a pretty extensive list of stakeholders, community groups, real estate community, and unfortunately, we did not. Interestingly enough, we had several folks register to attend and participate, but those folks that did register didn't necessarily turn out to actually attend and participate. So we will continue with the efforts and keep advertising. It's on social media, Facebook, Instagram. There's a variety of ways that we are trying to get the word out. And, you know, hopefully we do get folks that participate, because we all know what ends up happening. People say, I never knew about it. But we are trying to spread the word. So I will now turn it back to Ms. Swain, and she will provide an overview on Medical Main Street.
Thank you.
So the city has been working on Medical Main Street, or now as it's called, the Lancaster Health District Master Plan, which is approximately 274 acres, generally bounded by 20th Street West, Kingtree Avenue, 13th Street West, Avenue J, and Avenue J12. This master plan area is meant to provide a medical main street, or a concentration of medical uses, doctors' offices, housing to support those uses, restaurants, retail, commercial, in a walkable campus-like setting. The environmental impact report will be released on Friday for public review and comment. It will start on Friday and it will go through February 1st. The master plan will be released around that time, probably the beginning of the following week, for public review and comment. The public will be able to make comments on the draft DIR at our January Planning Commission meeting, but you will be seeing this project for your review and recommendation to council at the March, I believe, 15th Planning Commission meeting. Copies of the documents will be available to you. They'll be given to you definitely electronically. If anybody would like hard copy documents, those will also be provided to you. I just need to know who wants them. And I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone? Oh, all right. Thank you. Anything further, Ms. De La Cruz?
That is all. Thank you very much for your
Good.
time. Let's put 2020 behind us.
Ooh. Yes.
So we have two items on our agenda. Historically, we've amended our January and February regular planning commission meeting to the following week because of 2 federal holidays. So the recommendation would be to do the same. Do you need an action item of that, or do you need just concurrence?
We only need concurrence.
All right. Any objections from anyone? No? Okay. So be it then.
You're good. We will coordinate accordingly.
All right, very good. Yeah, and the reason for it is our meeting dates are set by resolution of the city council and by city ordinance, right?
I do believe so.
So, okay. This would be the time for public business from the floor for non-agendized items if the public is available to make comments. We don't have anything in writing, right, Ms. Winter?
That's correct.
So open the phone line then, please.
At this time, the public phone lines are now open for those wishing to speak on public business from the floor, non-agendized items. Any callers wishing to speak, please press *6 now, state your name, and then wait until you are called upon. It does not appear that we have any callers.
All right, thank you. All right, then, if there's nothing further, then I wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and whatever you choose to call it. I call it Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year.
Yep.
2021 is going to be better.
Hopefully.
It will
Maybe
be.
just Halloween, right, Mr. Moore?
Hey, Halloween will be great.
All right, very good. Good to see you all. I'm glad everyone's healthy. We stand adjourned then until, when is it?
January 25th.
January 11th.
11th.
Yeah, Monday, January 11th at 4:30 p.m. All right, thank you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Stay well.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays. Bye.